And what's going on, guys? Kale here, coming at you with another video. For those of you new to the channel, I am an endgame player with 4 accounts, 3 of which are in the endgame, and 1 is a new lobby, basically a new project, essentially. So currently we actually are on my main account, so this is Vagar. This is my largest account, been playing almost since launch, and today we're talking about Rebirth. I know there's been kind of a lot of talk, I guess, going on if Rebirth is skippable, if it's something needed now, or if it's something you can do later, and whatnot. And my personal experience, so in the bio section in the Doom, currently my alliance is running 3.4. In the Doom section, I'm pretty much able to consistently one-shot the first node. The second node, it's definitely a consistent 2-shot. Occasionally it's a 1-shot, and then the boss node is normally a 1 or a 2-shot, and doing this is with the Web Warriors and a Gamma team. So the thing is I've been building Rebirth kind of on the side. They are pretty developed. You know, I've got Captain America, Winter Soldier, US Agent all at G16. Captain Carter and Agent Venom I'm kind of currently working on. Carter I can take up to 4 stars, and Agent Venom I'm actually not able to take into the raids quite yet, just because of his ISO 8. I'm hoping to maybe have that done by this week, hopefully, and when that does happen, I'll do kind of an updated video with the full team. But anyway, I'm kind of going into it. I'm still kind of playing around with ISOs. There's a lot of different ISO 8 configurations that I've kind of seen online, as well as even team placement, and about the only 2 I can say, like, or maybe 3, I can kind of say definitively, US Agent as a striker, Captain Carter as a healer, and Agent Venom as a raider. And I guess kind of where it's going to vary a little bit is with Captain America and Winter Soldier. Quite a few people have him as a striker on a lot of the infographics, and I've actually been liking him as a raider, not necessarily for his like mass AoE damage, because he really doesn't have any, but more so with the added crit chance. And what raider does is, you know, obviously increase the crit damage. So that's kind of why I like him as a striker. Or not as a striker, rather, as a raider. And you look here, and, you know, with 3, with that raider, he's also going to add in, how does this not look like raider to me? He's also going to get, you know, 20% higher crit damage and an increase of 30% crit chance. And Winter Soldier already hits really hard, especially with his ultimate. So that's kind of why I like him as a raider. Next one on the list is going to be Captain America, and Captain America, I've seen a couple ISO 8 choices. I've seen Skirmisher, I've seen Healer, and the Skirmisher, like, I mean, to me, it doesn't really make sense. I mean, I would assume it is because of this with his ability to clear positive effects. However, from at least what I've played, I haven't really seen an issue of him not being able to clear stuff. So there's that. Healer, I think, is kind of a residual ISO from, like, the previous, where he was being used in, like, the Wave 1 Avengers, and honestly, I haven't really ran into too many issues of, like, the team lacking in healing, especially since the 2 reworks that have occurred. So for me, I actually chose Striker, and the reasoning behind that is these offense downs are actually applied on his ISO 8 attack. And, you know, for me, I'd rather kind of keep those offense downs out, especially since he is attacking fairly regularly. So that's kind of why I went that route. I don't think it's actually, you know, really hurt too much. So with his ISO 8 attack, I'm just actually pulling it up on msf.gg. He does the offense down for 2 turns, and he also applies defense up for 1 turn. So when you're looking over here, it's for him. So it's kind of keeping his, defense ups. It's keeping the offense downs, and he is the tank. So anytime he has defense up, I think is going to be great. So that's kind of what I've done for ISO 8. What I've chosen. I honestly haven't tested out the recommended ones. This is just what I've been liking. And as far as placement goes, placement can be a little funny. So currently, while I am waiting to build up Agent Venom, rather, I've got Red Hulk subbed in. And this kind of concept, I think, is going to apply with the final team as far as kind of layouts. And you basically want Peggy, I would say, as far away from Captain America as possible, as you don't want Peggy Carter getting splash damage when Cap is basically constantly taunting. So really, I would say these three are kind of interchangeable as far as who's in the middle, who's next, etc. I'm going to play around with that a little bit more and see if I find one that I like a little bit more than the other. But yeah, so that's kind of what we're doing. T4s, I'm not going to talk too much about T4s. It's kind of for certain characters, it's a little funny. So, for Captain America, I had him already T4'd out from, back in the day. But there are certainly infographics out there that kind of prioritize the T4s, and I don't really think there's as much information as far as gameplay. So let's go ahead and jump into the bio raids, and one of my raid lane mates has actually already finished, or at least one tap the bio boss node. So this won't be, you won't be able to obviously see them one tap the bio boss as it's already been started, but you can at least see kind of how they perform. Now, the thing that's really kind of, I guess, lacking is every time this team blocks and Agent Venom is on the field, he would then basically kind of do a ping attack. So with him, you're missing out on a lot of potential vulnerables with him kind of constantly pinging, especially with Captain Carter's reworked passive that just went live last night. The team basically has over 100% block chance. I believe when there's 3 or more Rebirth allies. So basically, just kind of have to survive that first initial tap, which isn't bad. Now, you do have some slows on the field, so what I like to do is I start off with Peggy Carter's ultimate, which is going to clear 2 negative effects from all allies. So basically just kind of removing those slows, and also taking off any initial evades that the Web Warriors have. So I then like to go in and I kind of start things off with a stun on Ghost Spider. Make sure you get a taunt up with Captain America. And this is kind of when the team really starts rolling. So I'll then go in and I will stun Spider-Punk. And from here, Web Warriors are kind of neutralized. You can kind of just basically slowly take them out. The rest of the characters that are on the field don't really kind of do much. I would say Star-Lord T'Challa would be kind of dangerous with the Web Warriors, as he kind of one-shot them sometimes with his ultimate. But with the Rebirth team, you don't really run into that. So we've got a bunch of positive effects on the field. So now what you want to do is you want to go in with Peggy Carter's special, and basically what this is going to do is it's going to extend all of that stuff by 1. So this team really is just kind of crazy buffed up. We'll go in and let's actually start working down on Spider-Punk a little bit, but I'll take him out. And now it's just it's pretty easy cleanup. Kind of what I'll do is just to make my life a little bit easier with Ultron, I'll go ahead and use Red Hulk's special. That way he doesn't have that revive once. And this first node is really, it's pretty easy. So I'll go in, I'll just do the ultimate just for some damage. And it's basically kind of extending those safeguards. I'll go in and I will stun Scarlet Spider over here and kind of get him down. And basically, once the Web Warriors are stunned, they can't dodge, they can't evade, so it makes things pretty easy at that point. Now, what I do want to kind of be conscious of, though, is I want to make sure that I do have Captain America's special available turn 1, and you want him to be able to taunt on turn 1, and that's kind of what I've realized. The only time I've run into issues with the second node is when I didn't have the taunt available. So once you kind of get down to this point and you're down to, you know, the 3 or 4 enemies, make sure you hold on to Cap's taunt and make sure that's available. The other thing I like to do while I am currently using Red Hulk is I make sure that I have his ultimate available for the next turn, and it just makes the node go a lot faster. Obviously, once Red Hulk is no longer here, that will not be a thing. But Agent Venom, from kind of what I've looked at his kit-wise, looks like he is really going to be kind of pumping out the damage that Red Hulk is currently supplying. And obviously, he'll synergize a lot better with the rest of the team. So, pretty clean fight. Everyone is pretty much full health. You know, Red Hulk, obviously, does have no synergy with the team, so he's not getting those heals as much. He's really only getting the heal from Peggy's ISO 8 move. But anyway, so we'll go into the second node, and this is the node that really kind of sells me on Rebirth, mainly because, you know, if I get really good RNG, I can one-shot this node with Gamma. And like crazy good RNG, I could maybe one-shot it with Web Warriors, but a lot of the times it's kind of like a consistent 2-tap, where, you know, you basically get Phoenix to drop, kill Phoenix, and then kind of quit out. With this team, though, I've been able to consistently one-shot it. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to start, and I'm going to stun Jubilee. And again, we've got some good positive effects going, so I'm going to basically extend those with Peggy Carter. And really kind of the way this team works is that they are just buffed out of their minds. And, you know, so next we're going to go in, I'm going to stun Beast. And basically we've now kind of stunned 2 of the Astonishing X-Men. I'm going to go in with Red Hulk's ultimate and get those... Oh, actually, I shouldn't have done that. He was blind. Misplay on my part, but still okay because the Gamma effect is still on the field. We just basically missed out on all the damage that would have done. All good, though. Not a big deal. So what we're going to do now is, now that Beast and Jubilee are stunned, those are going to be kind of my targets. So what I'll go in and I will... Let's see. Again, we're going to extend. And I'm going to go in and let's actually ability block Psylocke, because we don't want her throwing back all these debuffs. Normally, kind of what happens with this is Red Hulk has the ultimate out, so basically there's all this trauma and you don't have to worry about that. But trauma is not there, so... Jubilee should basically die now via bleeds, so I'm going to kind of go over here and take the revive once off Adam Warlock, and let's see... yeah, let's just go ahead. I'm actually going to start working on Moondragon back here. And you saw there, like, even without Skirmisher, he stripped all the buffs off of Moondragon. So that's kind of why I'm saying, like, I don't really think that Captain America needs Skirmisher. At least in 3.4, I'm not having a issue, like, landing any debuffs. So that's just kind of, I guess, my thoughts on that. We'll go over here, we'll do the ultimate and get some AoE damage out there. And basically I just want to kind of take out Moondragon before she kind of starts trying to strip some of my buffs. And so she should... Let's see, she doesn't have any bleeds on her, so she's not going to bleed out, but that's okay. And so really, I would say kind of the way this team, you know, what they do is they basically just kind of survive everything. They're so buffed up that they don't really take much damage, and you know, I would almost argue that like Captain America has kind of become almost one of the like best tanks in the game. He's got a crazy high health pool, you know, and he's taunting really regularly, and then with Peggy Carter and her special just kind of extending all these debuffs, or the buffs rather, you know, the team has almost constant defense up. They've got constant, like, deflects and, you know, immunity and all that stuff. So let's go in. Let's go ahead and stun Phoenix over here so she doesn't do her special. And we have Red Hulk's ultimate available again, so we will go ahead and pop that off. And, okay, so... So we've got Phoenix stunned over here. Let's go ahead and basically start working on Colossus, and basically just because he has taunt. And we'll have to kind of start picking this up a little bit so we don't time out. Normally I don't run into timeout issues. I think that's just a matter of me essentially kind of running my mouth during these nodes. But let's go ahead and up this damage a little bit. And I can, at least when I've not been, talking, I've been able to consistently one-shot this. This might just be a nature of kind of me talking and kind of explaining what I'm doing versus just kind of playing on autopilot. But yeah, so let's see if we can kind of finish this one off. Let's see, he's down, and go over here. And the other thing too, I guess one of the bigger complaints, I guess, on this team is that, they're lacking in damage, and I think that's, the damage is there, but I think also with Agent Venom, the damage is like really, really there, as he's basically going to be pinging every time that this team basically blocks, which is over 100% chance. All right, let's at least take out her. Okay, so kind of a nature of running my mouth, but you can kind of see, had I not been, again, running my mouth, that was an easy one-shot. The team, fully, full health. This is obviously an easy going back in. But when I'm not recording and kind of explaining what I'm doing kind of step by step, it's an easy one shot. And I'd say I typically kind of finish this fight with at least a minute to spare. But just kind of the, okay, I'm doing this, I'm attacking this person, and kind of explaining things like that. It, obviously just takes a little bit longer. So we'll go in, we'll clean this up real quick, and we will see what kind of state the last node is in. And that'll kind of wrap up at least this kind of baby playtest of Rebirth. And like I said, I should hopefully have the full team. I obviously already have the full team, but hopefully I'll have the whole team Doom Raid ready, hopefully by maybe the end of the week. We are getting ready to start Coordinated Assault, so obviously we'll be spending more ISO 8 energy, and hopefully I can get Agent Venom to basically green 5, because once that happens, I have a crazy abundance of blue ISOs. So yeah, let's go in here, we'll see where the node is. Like I said, I've been able to consistently one-shot this node when I've gone in with Rebirth. Again, the main thing you want is you want to make sure Captain America's taunt is available on turn 1, and then you're normally pretty good. So it looks like we've got an Icarus, we have Cersei, and okay, so this, I would say normally this can be fairly challenging. When you have both Icarus and Cersei on the field, typically it can give you a little bit of a struggle. So what I'm going to do, I don't know where people's cooldowns are at, so I'm going to go in and get some ability blocks out there. And let's see, let's get that defense down off of US Agent, because that is going to be deadly. So that is off. He now has Safeguard, and we'll continue taunting with Captain America. And our goal here is we're basically going to get rid of Icarus, so we'll stun him real quick. I don't know where he is where he's at, rather, in regards to where his cooldowns are. So I don't know if he's like ready to ult or, ready to do a special, etc. So definitely don't want that happening, so we'll keep him stunned. We should be able to take him out pretty quickly. We'll go in, we'll stun Cersei back over here, and that basically kind of neuters the two Eternals. So we'll get our buffs kind of increased up. So that's, regen for 2 turns, and basically all those goodies. And Captain America's shield just basically nuked that out. We'll go in with the special, and yeah, this is pretty much an easy cleanup. No real issues here. So they are cleaned up. And yeah, so that was a quick, easy cleanup of the boss node. Where this team kind of specializes, they have a lot of control. Between the stuns with Winter Soldier and US Agent, as well as the ability blocks, and then Captain America being just like such a phenomenal tank, they're really able to kind of CC or crowd control these nodes. So I really like Rebirth. So I guess the overall moral of the story is that if you have the resources to spare and you're just looking for a more efficient time through the bio section, I definitely think Rebirth is a great option. Are they absolutely needed right now? No, probably not. I mean, it's certainly not a situation like Skill, where we need a skill team, but they definitely make the raids a bit easier, and Vagar is in a position where I've got the resources, so I figured why not. So yeah, that's going to be Rebirth in Doom 3.4. So hopefully you did find this video helpful. I will be doing an update to this with Agent Venom once again I'm up to Blue 3. So hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, please feel free to like and subscribe. As always, I want to thank you so much for watching. Hope you are having a good week. Take it easy, and I'll see you next time.